The IPO market has been red hot. 110 companies have gone public so far this year, up 5%. Believe that? From this time last year. And we're getting 12 more IPOs this week. Joining us now is Nelson Griggs. He's president of the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. Nelson, I see you're at home. Anyone back there? I go back, and it's like I like it. I've got like a huge building all to myself. I'll be back on Thursday, but is it slowly coming back to life? What? Just give me an update before we get to the IPO market.
Good to see you, Joe. Yeah, we're slowly coming back. We have about 10% of our global workforce that's back in the office. We're opening 2 IPOs this week from headquarters on the West Coast, and I think my team is getting ready to come back.
Before we get to the IPOs, this is pretty amazing. Exchange transfer. So who'd you get last week? In 1 week, you had people moving to the Nasdaq. Who was it?
Yeah, we were. AstraZeneca announced they're coming over to Nasdaq, as well as Keurig Dr Pepper, and we have some more coming this week. So it's been fun.
180 billion in market value in 1 week. And why? Why would they do that? And I'm sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll give you the quick pitch. So we've had 1.8 trillion in market cap switch over the last 10 years or so, and I think just the value proposition resonates. We have a pretty good story. You've heard that one before, but I think you also look at the trading story has gotten a little easier to explain with the NYSE being shut down for a while, and I think people just recognize there's a bit more value. So we're excited about the progress.
Andrew.
Hey, Nelson, I'm curious about just this phenomenon of SPACs. And we see a SPAC, these special purpose acquisition vehicles, these blank check companies, virtually almost every week, almost every other day, it feels like you hear about the announcement of a new SPAC. And to some degree, you could argue it's a rebuke of the IPO process, that the IPO process has failed. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, the numbers in SPACs are staggering. There's been almost 35 billion of SPAC capital raised versus just 12 last year. And I look at it a little differently because the IPO market is clearly working as well. So I think what you have is just there's never been more optionality for companies that are private today to think about what their exit may be, whether it's an IPO, a SPAC, M&A. You've got other options for listing. So I think it's the interesting thing is going to be is how many of these SPACs convert in 2021. So we've got about 25 SPACs that have converted this year. Yeah.
Do you think that when we look back at this quote vintage of SPACs, that we're going to look fondly upon this moment? Do you think we're going to look and go, this was a crazy top of the market kind of thing to do? I mean, to some degree, we call it a blank check company because it's a blank check. You don't know going in, at least. I mean, I know you get to approve it later, but this is with blinders on, not off.
Well, there's a lot of shareholder protections, and what you've seen though is there's been some amazing historical SPAC issuers that have done serial SPACs, but it's been few and far between. This class of SPACs, there's a whole new entrant of business professionals that have run different types of industries, companies that are actually issuing the SPACs. So you have about 120 or so that are out looking for combinations. So I think the most interesting thing is going to be to watch is how they find their targets. Really in 2021, because you have about 18 to 24 months usually to find a target. So no, I don't think we're going to look at it that way, Andrew. Yeah.
Nelson, between now and November, if anyone wants to do an IPO, it's probably they're trying to get it in under the wire before the election. Probably you had a lot of healthcare. You have a lot of IPOs coming up and more tech IPOs. What's on the horizon between now and the election?
Yeah. Thanks, Joe. So we've got good clarity through the end of the year now, and I think it's going to be surprising because this month, September, is real strong. It's not just tech. This week we have a financial, we have a few consumer companies, healthcare, a Brazilian company. So it's really a very broad-based issuance, and we've got a lot of activity in September, probably 30-plus IPOs. October is actually fairly strong as well. We'll get that break in November, but I'm pitching a lot of deals for December right now.